we don't have. I feel like we could do better as far as having enough elders to give the youth wisdom, so we can have direction like as a people.
Yeah.
And if I could, help prolong the health disease part, in our older men, I feel like it could have a bigger ripple effect on us as a people. Um, what I can say specifically though is I've noticed as far as like career choices, two career choices that tend to be problematic with health is overnight shifts and
Mm.
truck drivers.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are tough to deal with and something to think about. And you have to be more proactive when that is the lifestyle that you're embarking on. And it's because it's easy to just say, well, it's hard for me to get into rhythm because, I'm driving on the road and I only gotta eat the food from these convenience shops. There's still healthy options there. They still got nuts and seeds and fruits there. Right? We don't have to get the processed packaged options. So that's something I see a lot. But even beyond that, what I see the most is come back to like the buzzword of mindsets, but it's like beliefs. It's more beliefs and mindset than even misinformation a lot of times. It's the approach. We look at weight loss as like a single event as opposed to a fundamental change of who you are. You have to change into this person who wouldn't have the weight issues or the health issues to begin with. And that struggle can be more difficult for some than others. And that's just kind of where we at. That's really the fundamentals of it, past the protein and the carbs and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, other than just dieting, do you work out? Do you have a workout regimen that you also participate
Yeah,
in?
so I don't necessarily have a typical day for me. I wake up, I'll go outside, look at the sun or towards the sun. Then I will go downstairs and do a couple of sets of exercises, typically some deadlifts, or I'll do some pull-ups outside. And I like to do my exercises sporadically throughout the day. So every 3-4 hours, I do 1 or 2 sets of like some pull-ups or some push-ups or something like that. Because I like how exercise make me feel. You get it. I don't see too many people who left the gym within inside of 30 minutes ago who are in a bad mood. It really changes your mood. So to stay in that mood, I like to just exercise sporadically and randomly throughout the day. Um, and lately, I've been obsessing over making sure I get quality sleep the night prior
That's important.
because that
Mhm.
sets the tone for the whole day. You can get a bad night's sleep. I mean, you can eat all the blueberries and avocados you want, but sometimes, your mood is off. You're irritable and things like that. So I've been prioritizing sleep a whole lot more than I used to. And I exercise sporadically throughout the day. And I avoid some people earlier in the day because typically they have a certain energy that I'm not ready to deal with. It's bad for breakfast. So yeah, that's a typical day for me.
That's good. So, nutrition, exercise, sun gazing, um, and I guess you just try to protect your peace, I guess, trying
Mm-hmm.
to leave out all those negative Nancy's, I guess you could call them,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
That's good. That's good. That's really healthy. That's a healthy regimen. Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, if you came across somebody um, that was where you once were, what would you tell them? How would you encourage them?
Yeah, I always have people start with their why. Because even like how you asked me earlier, like what was my main motivation? And we basically figured out it was my daughter and things like that. Because what I learned from my first year of coaching, the people who got the results, they had a serious why, and the people who didn't get the results, they didn't have a serious why. They just liked the idea of it. And when you have a goal like that, you have to, or I encourage them, I should say, to what are you going to leverage when you reach that goal? What are you going to leverage it to do? Like, okay, you want to lose 30 pounds. how do you plan to change your life when you lose 30 pounds that you don't maybe not feel confident doing now or whatever? You have to leverage it to the next step. So if you don't have that next thing to look forward to, it's extremely easy to talk yourself out of it and just go back. I mean, nobody knows yourself like yourself. So nobody knows how to persuade and manipulate you like you do. But when you come with that goal that you really want to have, now you have some ammo to fight that lower version of yourself that's trying to persuade you off course. But if you don't have that end goal to look towards it's very easy to quote unquote fall off the wagon. So I have them establish their why first and foremost, the desire and the fear. What's at stake, and what's the dream? And because a lot of times that's like probably half of the work right there, just figuring that out. Some clients I work with, we have literally spent months trying to establish their whys. A lot of us just be wanting to do things because it sounds good, or we think that's what society wants us to do, and we don't really want it for ourselves. And so even just that discovery process is a huge piece of the journey.
Interesting. So let me ask you, what are your goals? Do you have any goals or anything you're working towards now? I know you mentioned your book. Is there anything we need to look for that's coming out from you other than that?
Other than the book, really just the effects of the book. My like ultimate life goal as far as impact on the world, I believe, I should say I know, but I believe, most of the pharmaceutical companies and the type of medications that's, prescribed to us for chronic health conditions, we know they're unnecessary. We know that they can be fixed in other ways, but the other ways that they can be fixed holistically isn't promoted and propagated. And I believe that kind of hinders us as humanity, because now we're stuck in these problems, and I believe we could solve better problems once we move past these problems that we're trying to solve that are unnecessary. So my whole thing is I guess put them out of business, if you will, so we could get some better problems to solve and continue to evolve as a species moving forward. That's like my big life goal. And so this book is just another milestone there to kind of spread that idea and find other ways to make it infectious, to change, to change how we think, about these things. As soon as we find out that we may have high blood pressure, the first thing the average person thinks of, what pills do I need to take? And that shouldn't be the first idea we think of.
Okay. Well, that makes sense to me. So where can people find you for your services?
You just go to blaqamore.com. It's BLAQAMORE.com. And on there, it'll have links to whatever social media that you spend the most time on. You can find me on there, except Facebook and LinkedIn, probably. Except Facebook and LinkedIn, probably. But Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, I'm on there. And even for people who want to work with me one-on-one, there's an application link to fill out the application, and we can go from there.
Okay, well, sounds great. Thank you for being on the Get Your Healthy Life podcast.
Thanks for having me.